Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and here is a very dramatic and scary headline from crypto media outlet You Today. XRP is in serious trouble after losing important support. Oh my, everything's gonna be okay. So here's the deal, and I'll tell you this right there at the outset. Look, and I like You Today, but the analysis is not exactly all there. XRP, and I'll show you, it's doing fine and it's moving with the rest of the asset class. It's just XRP, it's one of the most popular cryptos on the entire damn planet, and people like to make articles about it as a result. So it kind of is what it is. So I'm just going to say my piece on that, and no disrespect to You Today. I like them, but this doesn't really make sense. Also, I got a few things to share in this video, including one that I just found truly fascinating. One of my favorite analysts, technical analysts out there, and I only mentioned this, I think, in one other video ever, but I am tracking it, and I promise to bring it up from time to time, and it's been a while, probably over a month. One of these analysts with a huge following has been purchasing $1,000 worth of Bitcoin a day, and he's planning on basically dumping it at the end of the year when he supposes it's going to be worth way more. He thinks the price of Bitcoin might even double by then. And so I just said that I'd go ahead and share with you what that is. And he is actually ramping it up. I'll explain what I mean. So anyway, plenty to discuss. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Okay, into this first piece with the scary, dramatic-sounding title here. Oh, crypto media, how I love you. Despite the stalemate on the market, we are seeing a diverse dynamic among digital assets on the market today, as some assets like XRP are losing local support levels, or old classics like Litecoin are returning to the top of the most profitable assets on the market. And then there's a subheading here, XRP is facing serious problems. Oh my. And then this guy wrote, despite the brief success of Ripple in the court and relatively calm performance on the market, XRP lost the local support level, which should have been the foundation of a potential future rally. The trend line was the trend line we discussed previously was present on numerous assets across the market, and XRP was no exception. The trend line formed back in July when XRP bounced off the local psychological resistance of 30 cents. Following increased selling pressure, XRP plunged by more than 10% in less than 24 hours, performing another test that appeared successful at first. Unfortunately, after 5 days of consolidation, bulls lost the battle against bears, and the price of the token tumbled below 33 cents, breaking the 70-day support that guided the asset upward. Okay, so that's what they're saying. Now, and I acknowledge, when it comes to technical analysis, you're not always going to see a perfect correlation. I'm not asserting that. But I am saying what matters more is the fact that the asset class moves in tandem and how easy it is to paint that picture. If you've got human eyeballs, take a gander at the screen here. This is livecoinwatch.com. The weekly charts for the top 10 cryptos by market cap are on the right side of your screen right here where I'm circling. Throw out, as usual, all of the stablecoins in the top 10. There's 4 stablecoins in the top 10 cryptos by market cap because reasons. Those are being DAI, BUSD, USDC, and USDT. So ignore them because they're stablecoins that behave differently, obviously. If you look at all of the other charts of these cryptos in the top 10, you will notice that they look striking. The charts look strikingly similar. And you may notice that there was a recent uptick. If you look, so roughly over the last day, XRP is up about 1%. Bitcoin's actually a hair down currently over the last 24 hours. But if you look to the right here, the weekly chart, you can see that there's this last little pop-up. It might be really small on your screens depending on what device you're using to watch this latest Moon Lambo hot jam. But everything moved up at the same time, right? And again, ignore the stable coins. XRP popped right here too. So, and that's what I find in general. So nothing against technical analysis. I'm for technical analysis. It can be useful. I'm just saying, if you're going to put that scary headline out there, I'm going to point out what actually happened after you wrote that. And it's only been, I mean, that's an article from today. And I'll just note that XRP's behaving just fine. And fine, again, there can be deviations. Like XRP did drop. It wasn't long ago. It was sitting at whatever, 38, 39 cents. Okay. But it was also, what happened leading up to that? Well, it was outperforming the rest of the crypto market. So that's what I'm saying. It's not perfect correlation, but if you zoom out on a chart, it all looks about the same. It's really not that different. which is another reason that I'm not a trader. I just like to buy, and then once I buy, I do absolutely nothing. I just sit there and hold. That's it. I do absolutely nothing else. And then there's this from Income Sharks, which is the technical analyst that I was referencing at the outset of the video. He's got 331,000 followers on Twitter, and he's publicly sharing his purchases of Bitcoin. And so there's this tweet June 28th when he announced what he was going to do. Initially, he wrote, "From July 1st to November 1st, I'll be buying $1,000 worth of Bitcoin every day and tracking the results. Pretty confident that dollar cost averaging the next few months will yield some serious gains. Goal is to accumulate 5 Bitcoin and sell for around $200,000 in December." So it's kind of a short-term thing, but he's putting some serious money. Could end up being, depending on what the price ends up being over this time period, could be over $100,000. So maybe he's looking to more or less double his money, over the span of like half a year, which is a pretty. If that happens, if he pulls this off, yeah. And even if it doesn't happen by the end of the year, I don't know for sure what he'll do. Of course, I'm not him, but I suspect he'd probably just hold it until the thing goes up anyway. But anyway, setting that aside, it's just interesting. He's changing his approach, and I think I know why. But he wrote Week 9 update, and so this was from just this afternoon, so just like within the last X number of hours, whatever it's been. He wrote, "Instead of dollar cost averaging through November 1st, I'll be ending this on October 1st. And instead of buying $1,000 buys of Bitcoin daily, I will be doubling them to $2,000 a day. I feel more confident in buying in September and holding end of year." Okay, so what he's saying he's doing here is he's still putting the same amount of money into this investment idea that he has. He's just cutting it short 1 month, but doubling what he's putting in now, right? So for this last month, so that starts today. And he shared that he's currently accumulated, it looks like just a hair shy of 3 Bitcoin in this time period so far, with the average price of $21,837. So that's his average buy price. And you can see currently he's down about $5,200 in this endeavor, but he's dollar cost averaging. That shouldn't be something that's not scary to him, obviously. It wouldn't be to me either. I'm down, for instance, my second largest crypto holding is HBAR. I'm down on that. I don't care. It was also way up last year. But right now it's down. Then I started accumulating more recently, and I talked all about that. So that shouldn't scare people. This is just very normal. It's a virtual certainty that when you purchase an asset, it's almost a 100% certainty that you did not buy the bottom. At some unknown point in the future, maybe it's that same day, it's going to be worth less. It's a virtual certainty. Buying the bottom is silly. Trying to sell the top, that's a silly concept for children. And so the fact that it's down right now isn't going to matter when inevitably crypto markets heat back up. But it's just really interesting we've been here. And so you can see, and then here's the other screen grab that he shared, just noting that is going to spend $2,000 a day for this month ending October 1st. And so from time to time I just thought it was really interesting since he's being so public about it. Just from time to time I'll mention it. We'll just kind of track how this goes. But I anticipate it's going to go well for him. Even if he's wrong on the, like in terms of when markets pop, like when Bitcoin's back up to about $40,000. If you hold long enough, I mean, come on. So he's going to make, I would suspect, some very serious money here. Then there was also, as to why, I wanted to tell you why. So, like, why do you think that he's, cutting this a month short, but doubling what he's spending in September? Well, take a look at this headline from you today. "Wake me up when September ends. Here's why crypto market is afraid of September." There you go, referencing the Green Day song. Take a look at this. "September is probably the least favorite month of the cryptocurrency market, as it historically brings nothing but losses to crypto holders. According to data provided by CryptoRank, Bitcoin has faced significant losses in the first month of autumn for the last 5 years. Bitcoin has seen only one positive September in its trading history on the market in 2016 and 2015. The average trading result for the first cryptocurrency in September is at negative 5.56%. Considering the average volatility of Bitcoin, it can be considered insignificant." And so there's an actual chart for those of you that care to look at whatever you're watching this on. You can see where I'm moving my mouse here. Last 5 years, of course, we're in 2022, so this is blank right here. But if you look at September over the last 5 years, down dramatically. So like last September, down 7.3%. The year before that, 7.96% down. 2019, down 14%. In 2018, down 5.77%. in 2017, down 7.72%. And that, by the way, that was right before the huge rally. So that's before I jumped into crypto. I jumped in November 2017, as most of you know. But it was down 7.72%, scared the hell out of everybody. And then it went from at the end of November up to what, like $10,000 to $20,000 in a few weeks. But the point is, September historically hasn't looked so hot. So I'm suspecting that Income Sharks is aware of that. That's probably the reason that he decided to just kind of up the ante for September and then cut the whole project down, cut it short by a month in terms of time span. And Income Sharks also shared this tweet, which I found interesting. Watching the Fed deal with inflation after printing trillions and then having to use quantitative tightening to avoid hyperinflation while trying to avoid a recession and quantitative easing just gives me more reason to load up on a non-manipulated and apolitical decentralized currency like Bitcoin. Amen, brother. And I do. It's like the longer I've been in crypto, the more I buy into this narrative that we need something that's not controlled by central banks, but actually has value because humans say that it's valuable. And this would equally apply to XRP, so far as I'm concerned. So we'll see. Maybe Bitcoin's number one forever. Maybe it lasts forever. Maybe it doesn't. We'll see. But yeah, any cryptocurrency that's decentralized and going to have long-term viability, same thing. I want something that can't be manipulated by those types of players. And so yeah, the more I jumped in, I always found the narrative compelling. Even when I first jumped in, I just find it more persuasive the more that I've thought through it and seen how developments unfolding, those types of things. I certainly buy into that concept a whole lot more, while recognizing that today Bitcoin and the crypto asset class is just being treated the same as equities. Maybe it's not always going to be in the future though. And even if it is treated by most people, it doesn't mean that I have to treat it the same. If I want something, and I do, that's not controlled by central banks, yeah. And the idea that this is somehow silly or stupid, that cryptocurrency doesn't make sense, which is what some people think still even in 2022, you just don't know what you're talking about. It's like the idea, because look, it's not backed. That's the problem, right? And the alleged problem anyway, it's not backed by anything. Bitcoin or XRP, it's not backed by anything. It just has an open market price. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, you think that it's going to fail because it's not backed by anything. Do you understand that the United States dollar is not backed by anything? And sometimes when you say it to certain people, they'll say, that's not true. It's backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government. Okay, that's a fancy way of saying that it's not backed by a damn thing. There is nothing backing it. Full faith and credit. Well, then you might as well say that Bitcoin and XRP are backed by the full faith of the crypto communities the world over. It's a big nothing, right? The truth is that money, first and foremost, is a trust system. United States dollar is worth something because people trust it right now to whatever degree, even though it's getting printed into oblivion. Similar with gold. Gold is not backed by anything. So there's two examples right there. Humans are very capable of having trust in these things. And as a result, they're worth something. So humans have the trust system with the United States dollar. Maybe that experiment comes to an end because they abuse it and print it into oblivion. Also trust gold. And you're telling me that humans can't do that with something just because the government can't manipulate, just because it has an open market price, it's not going to be sustainable? Humans are not capable of having an asset like that for the long term? It's just such a stupid narrative. You think bigger. This is not how humans are behaving. Humans are perfectly capable of having trust in all sorts of things, including cryptocurrency. And so fine, most cryptocurrencies will go to zero, but so what? So what? It's a messy process figuring out which ones deserve to be here. We're in early days, so we're going to see a whole lot of havoc in the next decade in particular. So what? Fine, let it happen. I'm here for it. I'm here for the volatility. I don't care. I love it. I have a good time with it. I'm just saying. I just wanted to share some thoughts with you on that. But I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.